Welcome back to the Fermentis Campus. So today I'm joined by Olaf and we're going to look at co-fermentation and the impacts that blending different yeasts can have on beers. You've got some exciting beers in front of us. Tell us a little bit about this project.
So this is from a New England IPA project that we did in this brewery. So basically, we were looking at different ratios of co-pitching different yeasts, and to see what effect it has on New England IPA style.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what have you tried, first of all? What was the? I suppose you have tried everything, but we've got three in front of us.
So these are the three that stood out for me a little bit. So we've got a K97 SO4. So K97 we know works very, very well in a New England IPA. It produces a lot of free theols from your hops. But one thing we've also seen is that SO4 produces a very stable haze as well.
Okay.
So we've added both of them together, and it seems you do seem to be getting the best of both when you do that.
And did you do 50-50 or what percentage?
50-50. Yeah. So each strain was so 50 grams per hectoliter total. So 25 each.
Okay. Cool. And then
we did one with S33, so K97 S33, and then K97 and USO5.
What performed the best?
For me, it was the K97 SO4, definitely.
Okay. Can we try them then? Let's see what they're like.
So I'll start you off on the K97 SO4. So the malt bill was 80% pulse, 10% wheat, and 10% oats. Cheers. And a lot of dry hopping. So we added about 1 kilogram per hectoliter hops, and that was divided about 20% in the kettle, so just after flame out. And then 40% at pitching, was the rest, and then 40% at 50% fermentation.
And it's the same wort.
Exactly, exactly the same wort. The only thing we changed was the yeast strains. So we kept temperatures all the same, so we could really see what effect our yeast has in a New England IPA style.
K97, they say, unlocks a lot of precursors, like the whole thiol thing seems to be on trend at the moment, and it's very good.
So I've gotten some very, very good results from using K97 in any hoppy beers actually.
Cool. Right, let's try the S23, did you say, or S33?
S33.
S33.
So K97 S33. So the S33 we also recommend for New England IPAs.
On its own, it performs well. Not just as a.
It is, the nice thing is with S33 is it is multi-trios negative, so it does provide a little bit of extra sweetness in any beer.
What hops did you use in this? What variety?
This one was Citra, Mosaic, and Cascade. So the classics.
All the big hitters in there. Let's try the last one then.
The last one was K97 USO5. So also USO5.
It's the neutral strain, like the go-to for
it is
classic.
quite neutral, especially compared to the other ones.
What did the sensory panel pick up when they carried out the testing this then? Was there a favourite amongst the team?
We're still waiting for sensory to get back to us with that. So it is in the pipeline at the moment. But so far, especially with K97, a lot of passion fruit, citrus, things like that. So very, it just pops a lot more. Than if you compare it to a more neutral yeast strain.
Like visually, they look very similar. They've all got a good stable haze and stuff. So, any other co-fermentation tips that you would have, or any varieties that you've experimented with that you think stands out?
Tip-wise, I would say The only drawback with co-pitching is you won't be able to reuse the yeast.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing. There will always be one yeast that will outcompete the other.
Yeah.
So you will see, if you do repitch your yeast from generation to generation, you will see it change over time.
Yeah.
So we would always recommend to do a direct dry,
Okay.
50-50. Then you know, in terms of viable cells, you know exactly what you're working with.
Yeah. And any experiments in the past that have been like the K97? What was the first one we tried? K97.
S33.
S33.
Or SO4, S33.
SO4.
And
So
SO5.
K97 SO4 was the standout for the three that we have here. Any other beer styles that you've experimented with and there's been a standout?
In terms of co-pitching?
Yeah.
No, not yet. I mean, we have quite an extensive portfolio of different yeasts, and
Yeah.
you know, it is going to take some time to start working through all of them, especially if you start using different combinations and things like that. But
Yeah.
we are paying a lot more attention to it at the moment.
Yeah. Cool. Olaf, thanks so much for your time. Co-fermentation with different blends is obviously something that it's worth exploring. My preference was actually the 05 and the K97. Understand why you like that one. There's just something about this. I think a slightly different mouthfeel.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I'm imagining it or whether it's the fact that the more beer I drank, the more I liked the beer.
Yeah. But I mean, the nice thing is everyone has their own own preferences when it comes to these blends.
Yeah.
And the base was exactly the same. We didn't change anything in terms of recipes. So it just shows you that, using different, the type of yeast you use does make a
huge
big
impact.
difference.
Yeah. Right, get experimenting, guys, and let us know how you get on. And until next time, happy brewing.